Welcome back, folks. It has been a long time since I've done a video on my smart car. People have asked over the years if I still have it. Yes, I do. I'm still driving it. The battery has not failed yet. But there's some issues. We're going to go through it and we'll just talk about the car, how it's been over the years. So the reason I have it in here in the first place is because of this air flashing in the dash. So this just started happening a couple days ago. Brake malfunction. I don't know what it means by workshop, but this is the issue that I ran into. And basically I have lost the power assist on my brakes. So the brakes still work, but you gotta step on it like an elephant. So I started tearing the things apart and trying to figure out what was going wrong. Okay, so power assist brakes, let's talk about that for a little bit. On a traditional gasoline vehicle, well, you'd have the engine in the front here, and you'll notice somewhere over on the driver's side, you'll see like a big, large black canister, and there'll be a hose connected from it over into the engine. So what that is it's a large canister that uses vacuum from the engine to provide assistance when you're pressing the brake pedal. So it's a large vacuum canister that helps pull that brake pedal or push the brake pedal down for you. Now this vehicle, engine's not in the front, the canister is not in the front, so I'll show you where it is. You have to crawl underneath the car, take off the panels, and then this is your brake booster on this car right here. Inside this black box you'll probably find the lever that connects the brake pedal into this brake booster, and then at the back this is your actual master cylinder that applies the hydraulic brake pressure on this car. So this is the brake booster canister, but because there's no vacuum on this car from the engine, they rely on a mechanical electronic pump to generate vacuum, which comes in through this line right here, and I trace that all the way back to the back of the car, which I'll show you now. Alright, so I traced that back to the rear passenger side, and that line comes out right this hose right here. Now I have it disconnected from the vacuum pump, but it is located where those bolts are. You can kind of see it back there. Alright, so I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so this is the electronic vacuum pump that you'll find on your electric smart car. So, electric motor, some kind of pumping mechanism, and it generates vacuum to that hose through this line right here. So, I took it off, and I just connected these wires inside here to my 12-volt battery, and lo and behold, this thing didn't make any noise, didn't do anything. So, pretty sure this is what the problem is. I've disassembled it as much as I could. Let's see if I can pull this cap off. Oh, there we go. Alright, so I was actually expecting the brushes on this motor to be worn out, but it's kind of hard to see. But these little copper brass colored units right here, that's the brushes that make contact with the electric motor, and there is lots of material left on the brushes, so it wasn't the brushes. Anyway, what I ended up doing was I just kept tapping the wire onto the battery terminal, and eventually this thing just kind of broke itself free. It started spinning again, and you could stick your finger over the hole and you could feel that suction and vacuum was being generated. So I don't know if the internals of the pump are starting to wear out and stick, but this is definitely what was causing my issue. So I think what I might do is just, now that it's working, I might just reassemble it, put it back on, and see how long it lasts. Anyway, I'm gonna get that job done, but there's a couple other things I wanted to show you on the car. Alright, so the biggest thing that started concerning me was the rust. I've got a lot of rust build up down here. I've sprayed bits and pieces of this car and undercoated it, but clearly I didn't do a good job. This is the battery compartment. I've always thought this big unit was stainless steel, but I'm wrong. So it's corroded. The mounting points here are starting to rust. There's some buildup on this is your ABS pump. And I don't know if we're gonna be able to see it, but let me see if I can poke in here. There's a couple of spots where the brake lines are starting to get really rusty where they meet up at the clips. Let me see if I can. Oh, it's hard to see. Anyway, you'll have to take my word for it. Some of these brake lines are getting really rusty under here. So I already had everything off. I'm going to take this opportunity right now, actually. I'm going to clean up some of this rust, and I'm going to hose everything down with a rust spray. Yeah, see, this is really getting bad in there. I don't like the looks of that at all. Way too much rust for my liking. So I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to hose everything down. I'm going to put it back together. Another problem that I noticed when I was back here looking for that vacuum pump was this green stuff coming out of my AC compressor. So this is your AC compressor, runs off the high voltage lines, and you can see all this green stuff. That's basically a dye, I believe, that they put into the refrigerant. So something on this compressor is leaking. This was originally replaced years ago under warranty, so I guess it's just dying again. I've got a lot of oil sprayed in the battery or the engine compartment area, but yeah, everything is just corroding on me. I just can't keep up with the rust. You know, the salt in Canadian weather really does a number on this. Anyway, that's a problem for another day, but just wanted to point it out that, yeah, it's leaking again. Alright, so I have this thing back together. This is what it should sound like. And if you were to put your finger over that hole, you'll feel it start to generate a vacuum. So anyway, it's working. Like I said, it didn't at first. It was stuck. So I'm gonna put it back on and hope for the best. Alright, we are back in business. I have that unit mounted in the location. Hose is connected, wires connected. I'm gonna flick the key on and you're gonna listen. You're gonna hear it. You'll know the sound. Oh, it didn't make it. What the heck? Well, that's no good. Maybe I'll hit the brake pedal. See if that triggers it. No. Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. I just tested this. Alright, back to the drawing board. Alright, vacuum line is back on. I just have it dangling in there on one bolt, so let's try it again and see what happens. Look at that. Generated full vacuum. Triggered the shut off. Frig, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on here. Lights off. Let's see how the pedal feels. Yeah. Yeah, well, I got vacuum. Well, what do you know? Oh, man, I'm at a loss. I don't know. Maybe the pump's just getting old and it's just jamming up every once in a while. Okay, so we are up to 134,000 kilometers. This is a 2013 vehicle, so it's we're in 2024, so you know it's just 10 years old now. Let's talk about battery range. I really haven't noticed much of a decrease. I maybe have lost 10 kilometers of range. It's really hard to say because I don't drive this like I did at the beginning. When I first bought this, I was always trying to, you know, drive the speed limit, just taking it easy, just trying to get as much range of the battery as I could. But nowadays, you know, I know how much range I'm going to get with this. I know how far it can take me. So I'll typically drive, you know, 20 kilometers over the speed limit, like most people. But I think what I'll do, we'll get this thing charged up, and we'll do a range report. I'll drive into work tomorrow, and we'll see how it's doing. Alright, got it all back together. All the panels are back on. I spent some time cleaning up the rust underneath it, doing some oil undercoating, and so far, that vacuum pump is still working. Let's get in here and hit the brake. You can hear it. I don't know if it's louder than it used to be. Hard to say. Anyway, we'll drive it and see what happens. But I'm happy we got it working again. Alright. Got a full charge. Heading into work this morning. It's sitting at +2 right now. This is very warm for the end of January. Estimated range 105 kilometers. Let me reset the trip there. Alright, so I'm going to cruise in. I'm going to set the speedo at 80 kilometers an hour. I'll have the seat heaters on, and I'm going to get the heat going. And we'll see what happens. Alright, just pulled into work. So it was 33.8 kilometers. This is an estimated range of 48. We're sitting at about -2 right now. And the battery is sitting at about 45, maybe a bit lower than that. Anyways, that's not bad. It's not bad for a 10-year, 11-year-old car. 134,000 on it. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you next time.